I was born in a big black and white world full of brothers and a ranch house that was then out on the edge of development. It was surrounded by mom and pop farms, and we were always told, go outside and play. And when we did, we'd go to this great big field next to our house where it was full of toads and caterpillars and even garter snakes. It was a lively and rambunctious home, full of twists and turns and ups and downs. My mother was artistic and always had some sort of a project going, making puppets for a play or creating an Easter egg tree from eggs we had had for breakfast. She was the sort of person who was just as likely to paint a watercolor as she was to do laundry on any given day. While my mother filled our house with art books, my father was encouraging by bringing home old mimeograph sheets from work. These mimeograph sheets were printed on one side in a kind of purplish ink, and on the other side they were blank, and that's the side we would use as drawing paper. The smell of the mimeograph paper was distinct, and it would mix with the waxy smell of the crayons as we drew and colored first one image, then another, and then another. If we didn't like what we were doing, we quickly replaced it with another sheet. In doing so, our black and white world gave in to the colors of days spent in and out of doors, and colors that changed with the seasons from green to gold to snowy white. Our various childhood excursions and experiences served as the subjects for those drawings, and I remember applying my crayons to the paper, pushing and pulling the crayons, making all sorts of lines and creating patches of color on color, just energetically working them to make an image that felt in sync with whatever our ideas or whatever our feelings were. A lasting memory is that whatever we were drawing at the time was far more interesting to us than whatever it was we watched on TV. Now, so many years later, I still find myself with the process of using a crayon to make lines in my effort at creating drawings. I stand before a blank piece of paper and consider the possibilities that both beckon and challenge me. At times, I have very little sense of how a work will ultimately be developed, alternating with times when I am absolutely certain as to how to proceed. Perhaps it is simply the familiar seesawing of intent and understanding that keeps me returning to my boxes of artist crayons and oil pastels. Or perhaps it is simply the desire to see how it all turns out in the end.